Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here back with their daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about a token that I haven't talked about in a while, and that is Energy Web Token. Honestly, the way that I look at this token is, we are continuously seeing a major issue being thrown out around POW chains, and that is energy sustainability. Like, sustainability has become a major call for concern around this sector. I've talked to you guys about Energy Web Token in the past and how it could essentially, allow for Bitcoin to be a green token. And if that is the case, then we do see a very, very bright future ahead going for, Energy Web Token, for an example. But of course, that is hypotheticals. We are actually going to be talking about what has been happening around Energy Web Token for a little bit of time. In regards to the overall chart here, we have been in a massive downtrend since going back as far as April of 2021. This was our high at about almost $20 or so. We're currently sitting at about $2.40. And I do believe that we can go lower. I'm going to be sharing with you guys my thoughts on this chart at the end of this video. So if you guys do want to stay around for the end of this video, you guys are more than welcome to. In regards to the holders tab, I know that this has always been broken. I don't know why this has not been fixed, but there's currently about 8,299 holders. Again, there's not a lot of data here to actually go off of. I wish that this was a little bit fixed. It hasn't been fixed since, going back to my original videos with Energy Web Token. But nonetheless, let's dive in and let's talk about a few things. So first and foremost, we've talked about Accenture in the past, and Accenture is a very large giant, especially around the digital asset space. And we have this announcement from Shell, together with Accenture and Amex GBT. We've launched a new sustainable aviation fuel digital platform powered by blockchain. The pilot project is an important step in the journey to decarbonize business travel. So first off, before we even jump in and actually read this article, I want to tell you guys something about this. So one, like I've said, sustainability has always been a very, very important topic, especially in regards to governments and even countries in whole. So when we look at this, these gas companies like Shell, for example, have always been in the targets. Now, to me, them working with Accenture and essentially EWT, because that's gonna be the blockchain that they're focusing on here, tells me where we are headed. Also, again, names like Shell, which is a very large gas company, and we look at even Accenture and even Amex GBT, these are very, very large entities. Now, if we actually go over here and read this, so first off, this happened on June 20th. Shell, Accenture, and American Express Global Business Travel are jointly announcing the launch of Avelia, one of the world's first blockchain-powered digital sustainable, aviation fuel book and claim solutions for business travel. It is the largest SAF book and claim pilot at launch, offering around 1 million gallons of SAF, enough to power almost 15,000 individual business traveler, flights from London to New York. Now, of course, we do see exactly who they are working with, developed by Shell and Accenture with the support of Energy Web Foundation. Avelia includes Amex GBT's world-leading travel management services to aggregate global business demand for SAF, which will increase SAF supply and use and help accelerate the aviation industry's pathway towards net zero emissions, which again, net zero emissions has always been another very large focus point around sustainability. But I think that this is great. I mean, honestly, and they do continuously talk about more and more things in regards to this, like we do see down here. Shell will increase its commitment as soon as more SAF is available to achieve its ambition to abate 45% of Shell's corporate travel emissions through SAF by 2030. Like I said, the future is very bright for EWT, not only from where they are actually focused on, but also the growth around this area. This is only going to become more and more of a spotlight, and I see this problem coming up all the time. People want to leave a better earth for their children, their grandchildren, etc. So this is an area that I think is going to be a main focus point going forward, and it definitely is something that I have been paying attention to. And blockchain definitely does offer a massive efficiency use case in this area. And like I said, this is why I do believe that EWT is probably one of the main winners around this sector, because they have been again, building out massive connections with huge partnerships like, for example, Shell, Accenture, and even American Express Global Business Travel. Now, also, in regards to their bi-weekly recap, this goes from the 20th of June to the 4th of July. So, this is a little bit passed in 1 week, but we do see this update from Shell Center and Amex GBT, but we do see like the blockchain applications in the energy sector, and then we did see news here, getting the most out of tomorrow's grid requires digitization and demand response, which we actually do have that right here. Ordinary people do not want to spend all their time on energy day trading sites to save a few pennies on power. New smart grids are an excellent way of automating the process. And of course, we do see like event solution for trusted green charging based on green proofs and the Energy Web chain. And of course, Energy Web behind the scenes episode 2 with Michael Bossia. I hope I'm saying that last name right. But honestly, yeah, like, I think that right now utilities, specifically like energy, is a very large issue, not only for like these businesses, but just me and you, like typical individuals. For an example, I am in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and my energy bill has gone up massively over the last couple weeks to even months, and it's almost like the same usage that I've been using. So again, like energy utilities are going up in price, with not only inflation, but also like we need to have more of an efficient way of utilizing energy. And I think that, disrupting this area in regards to like digitization and like, crypto tech is something that we should be focusing on, because it could drastically change not only the cost to deliver energy, but also the cost to utilize it. And we also do see over here, this goes back to June 23rd, how blockchain can open up energy markets, EU DLT expert explains. Now, I discussed this in a video actually before, but this is most likely, where we are basically headed in regards to like, I know that we always talk about like the new industry, like 4.0, if you will, or I should say, a lot of people just discuss like the Web3 area, but I've always said like the fourth industrial revolution will happen from crypto technology. And this is basically what they are talking about, like industry, 4.0, if you will. This is what I call, the fourth industrial revolution. So we do see here, in Industry 4.0, which includes the new and revolutionary drivers of the next generation's industrial landscape, and especially when it comes to the energy sector, blockchain lies at the heart of these technologies. Of course, they do mention EWT down here. We're going to talk more so about that, but we do see the authors of a recently published EU Blockchain Observatory report blockchain applications in the energy sector are convinced that distributed ledger technology could become a key enabler technology and has a very high potential to influence or even disrupt the energy sector. This comes as no surprise given the 5 Ds of digital, green shift, and they're talking about like deregulation, decarbonization, etc. But down here, they do mention, Energy Web Token. They're talking more so about the use case Elia Group with Volkswagen, etc. But we do see the report highlights the major directions for blockchain in the sector and supplements them with the actual case studies and insights from energy market stakeholders such as Volkswagen, Elia Group, Energy Web Foundation, and more. And yeah, I mean, like when you really kind of look at this area, and the connections, by the way, with Energy Web, like it's truly something remarkable to see where Energy Web is positioned themselves. The connections that they do have for like even like the EU Commission is crazy. And I think that this is also like the main reason why like I continuously talk about Energy Web Token here and there. I know that I don't like make videos on it on a day-to-day basis. Maybe I should, but I did say here, like, I can't believe how overlooked EWT actually is. We are nearing a generational bottom on this asset. My target is $1.60. And we're actually going to be talking about why this is actually possible, so definitely stay tuned to the chart. But yeah, I mean, it is probably one of the most overlooked gems with all of the connections that it actually does have. For an example, here is a post from Energy Web themselves. This goes back to the 7th. In the Omega X EU project funded by the EU Commission. By the way, this is the EU Commission. I mean, like, this is probably one of the largest connections that we have to the Energy Web token itself through a major player like the EU Commission. Energy Web will work together with a group of 30 different EU partners to integrate Energy Web solutions to allow trusted and secure data exchange between energy market participants. Now, of course, in regards to this overall article, there's a few things that I do want to mention. So here we have large amounts of valuable data are available in energy systems. However, they are often underused and their full potential is not being extracted. The smart energy system of the future can be more efficiently operated and designed through a holistic approach that considers its multiple energy vectors, electricity, gas, heat, like all utilities. This means dealing with diverse data inputs, which is feasible if the interoperability between their corresponding data platforms is ensured. Omega X, a European funded project, aims to tackle this challenge and to implement an energy data space. And of course, this is going to be, through Energy Web Token. We do see down here, which this is where I really kind of want to focus on. There will be no green energy transition without full digitization. Digitization is such a huge area that I focus on with a large amount of industries, like for an example, trade finance, cross-border payments, etc. There will be no EU data strategy without data sharing. Data spaces can answer to both challenges at once, being energy one of the flagship use cases. And we do see down here the project includes setting up 4 use case families that will showcase the value of having a common data space for a particular problem identified by energy stakeholders: renewables, local energy communities, electromobility, and flexibility. And these are like all of the key areas that EWT, or Energy Web Foundation, has been focusing on for a very long time. And we do see that the project runs from May 1st, 2022 until April 30th, 2025, and was officially kicked off on May 11th to 12th in Bilbao. This 3-year project is led by Atos in collaboration with the European consortium of 30 partners from 11 different countries, including universities, cities, and key players from the energy sector. And of course, if you guys do see down here, I don't know where it was. There's so many names I can't even really pinpoint a lot of them, but Energy Web Foundation is a part of this, and there it is, Energy Web. It's just like Energy Web itself. But I definitely, want to pay attention to Energy Web Token going forward, and I do think that everybody else should, because again, when we really kind of look at the key players around this, and by the way, here's like Energy Web down here. They talk about like how it is, basically focusing on everything around like utilities, the grid, etc. But I think that we should be focusing on this because, again, sustainability and energy has been a crucial area to focus on for a while now, especially around crypto. But also, we are getting into the point where we are basically going to be seeing an energy crisis. And I've mentioned this actually in a few videos before. I think it's like going back like a week ago now, where overseas in Europe, we've been seeing a large focus on energy and actually, saving energy. It's a problem. We're basically in a crisis around utilities, and it's a growing problem, especially at these current moments in time. Now, the moment that everybody has been waiting for. So this is why I do believe that we see the $1.60 zone on Energy Web Token. So there's not a lot of support here, and this is on the weekly. Like, even if we go to the daily channel here, so let's actually go to the daily. So, here we have the price action that we're basically seeing by the dotted line on the chart, as you guys do see here. This is like where our price is currently. There is a little bit of support around like this range here at like $2.21, but honestly, the most amount of support is at this $1.85 area, all the way down to like around like the $1.58. And, could we come down a little bit lower? I mean, honestly, like $1.58 might not even be like the full area that we bottom out on. Like, it's more so like around like $1.60. But the reason why I'm saying that is like we're not at an area where there's a large amount of support, and all the support would be down in this range down here. Now, the good thing about this is the idea on like where we could head to on the run up. And by the way, I'm going off at 22.22 because that is the coin market cap topping point for Energy Web Token back in, of course, like the March-April timeframe. But the upside potential off of these moves down here, if we can come down to this exact point, would be almost a 72x opportunity on the next run up. And could we go a little bit higher? Sure, we could. We could outreach above this and possibly even go much, much higher. But this is where I'm, really kind of looking at targeting the next run up, which again, like a 70x% move, like that is something really remarkable, and it's something to really kind of be proud of, in my opinion. So I hope that kind of clarifies a few things in regards to like the chart, and also why like I do believe that Energy Web Token is such an incredible asset going forward. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on if you guys want more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.